Hello everyone, it's Nathan, the Gold Coast Shaman, and I just wanted to make a video this evening showing this really cool tarot deck that I got today, the Shaman's Tarot. And I just saw this yesterday and ordered it as soon as I saw it because I have been looking for a deck that incorporates Andean shamanism with traditional Rider-Waite images of the tarot. I've got a few decks from Alberto, one being the Shaman's Dream Oracle and also the Mystical Shaman's Oracle. And those are really great, but I wanted something to do everyday readings with, but also incorporated a little bit of that shamanic magic. And I was really pleased using this deck today with readings, and they really led really nicely into some healings as well. So Alberto is an anthropologist, shamanic practitioner. Patricia Gift is one of his students and a studier of the Tibetan Bon religion. And the artwork is by this fellow Boris Quinteros, and I've never heard of him before, but the book in here goes on to share a little bit about his background, and he was born in the jungles of Peru. So the artwork is definitely that jungle medicine. So really cool stuff. So let's crack this bad boy open. So the top of the box, heed the sweet messages from Spirit, so you may dream a new world into being for yourself and for Mother Earth. So very beautiful stuff. And we'll take a look at this book. And I actually really like this guidebook. I typically don't read guidebooks. I try to, but I just find them, I don't know, I don't connect with them for some reason. But some of the takes and interpretations that are in here are really cool. And I'll share one later on when we get to the Devil card. Really cool take on the Devil. So let's take a look. I'll show you the box. So inside the bottom of the box is the design from the back of the cards. And yeah, so pretty thick deck when they're all together. These are Oracle card size. So like I said, I use the Mystical Shaman deck. And you can see same size. The cardstock is a little thinner than the Mystical Shaman. Out of all the cards by Alberto, I think the cardstock from the Mystical Shaman is my favorite. The matte finish, the cards are a little bit more thicker and sturdier. These are thin and a little bit more delicate. And unfortunately, I actually bent two today, which I'm a little devastated about. But if you have the Shaman's Dream Oracle, it's the same cardstock, same thickness, same feel, like a light matte, but a little thinner, not as durable as the Mystical Shaman. But look at the back of that card. I first saw these on the story that was posted by the Four Winds Facebook, and I was just like drawn into that. I thought that was so cool. And so if you want to see the traditional tarot card size, you can see, yeah, these are big boys. So just to compare the full together. So all these images are of indigenous peoples of the jungles and the high mountains of Peru. and a lot to do with the Inca tradition and Inca and Andean symbolism. And instead of the magician, we have the shaman, which is like a Kiro shaman with his mesa cloth and all his tools. I love that. Bring that energy down to the earth. And I've done a couple of readings with these cards today. And if you're familiar with the traditional Rider-Waite, it reads very easy. You'll have no problems with that, if that's what you're familiar with. But there's definitely a different energy to these. Empress, Pachamama, Mother Earth. Very beautiful artwork. The Emperor. Inca King. The Hierophant. This is a Chicana. And a Chicana is the key, the gateway between the worlds. So instead of having that teacher, they have this symbolism opening up that realm to the spirit realm. And I love this chariot. Love the jaguars. Do a lot of jaguar medicine in my practice. A lot of shadow work. A lot of interesting things. And if you're just into tarot, I'm not going to get too much into that. But I just love the artwork here. And the eagle above as well. Yeah. Beautiful colors. Beautiful stuff. And the Strength card. This is the card on the box cover. Instead of a lion, she's opening up the mouth of that jaguar. The Hermit. And the Hermit standing on that, the Nazca lines, that hummingbird. And hummingbird's all about that soul's journey. So the Hermit's found that light and bringing it back into the world, helping others find their path. So I love that symbolism here. It just speaks to me and some of the things that I've experienced and learned along the way in my shamanic studies. The Wheel of Fortune. Should have called it the medicine wheel, but that's all right. All the power animals there. And justice. The Hanged Man. Love the snake. Snake's all about shedding that past. What do we need to shed to move forward when we're in this card? To gain that enlightenment. Death. Just the colors really, really pop. And the devil. I'm going to read you what they wrote about the devil in the guidebook, because I loved it. I thought it was so cool. So the devil comes to invite you to explore the deeply hidden parts of your psyche, the dark secrets of the soul that you keep even from yourself. You long for something deeper, something transcendent, and you wish to explore the territory beyond the self and the known. Own all the expressions of life force that have been locked up in the recesses of your psyche. The devil challenges you to befriend your demons instead of battling them. Before your world is set on fire by accident or design. Remember, the devil is simply the parts of God that we don't understand and refuse to accept. Whoa. Cool stuff. He's inviting you to go in and explore. Explore that shadow. That's usually where the treasures are. The tower. The star. There's a really cool description in the guidebook. Won't read it to save for time, but that was another one that was really, really digging. So if you like a earthy type vibe, it's the deck for you. And we'll get on to the minors. It's got that lightning vibe of the Ace of Wands. That new growth. And I like the different suits have a different color palette. So a lot of the fire cards, the wands, have these beautiful oranges, yellows. I love how she's about to go out on her journey, and there assisting her is the hummingbird, which is all about that journey. Again, that soul's journey. Aligning with spirit. Purpose. Four wands. And yeah, you can see these are all very much the Rider Waite. Very easy to read. This is probably one of the coolest Eight of Wands that I've seen. A lot going on here. I like that one. This one's a little different too. Usually this guy is all bruised up, but here it looks like he's guarding this place, and the hummingbird's here. So it's like this gatekeeper. It's going to help open this door to this place you need to step into, a place you've been trying to get to. At least that's how it came up in this reading today. This person was going to meet somebody to show them the way, to be in alignment with their purpose. I like that he's got the coca leaves. The queen with her jaguar. The hummingbirds too. Just note how these cards, everything's alive. When we get to the swords, it's kind of barren. So it's really interesting. You know, the fire aligned with spirit. So it's like even the stone, these jaguars are like alive. So it's a little bit kind of blending between the worlds here. So very interesting, very cool. The cups, we're getting more into those blues again. Purples. This is really cool, Two of Cups. I love that, the sky. Very magical. Celebration, you got all the abundance, dancing, good times. So yeah, the most part, these are just the Rider-Waite, with just these more traditional Peruvian type of people. And the power animals. But the energy of these cards, they're lighter. Something more joyful about them. I like this Ten of Cups too. So this is one of the cards that somehow got damaged. You can see, I don't even know how or when that happened. I must have been shuffling them. So that would be my only gripe, is these cards seem to be a little bit delicate. And I think the main problem is together the deck is so thick that shuffling it is a little difficult. And this was the second card that got damaged, the Queen of Cups. So, major bummer. But but luckily you can't really tell, only when the light hits it a certain way. And again, take note of just how vibrant and alive these court cards are. Before we get to the swords are very depressing, and I guess as they should be, but it really captures that emotion. It looks like a cool dude. Calm waters there. Now, everyone's favorite suit. And see all that vibrant color just muted. I do love what the book says about the swords, so I'll read that. Not about the Three of Swords in particular, but the sword suit. Cuts through illusion with the clarity of an eagle's vision, representing the mind, intellect, and truth. These cards guide you to discern what serves your highest good and what must be released. For the path of the shaman requires precision and focus. Swords illuminate the shadow aspects of the psyche, inviting you to confront fears and debilitating beliefs. They remind you that the wind carries the voice of the divine, whispering truths that can liberate you when you listen deeply. Mastery of the swords brings an eagle's perspective on your soul's journey. So very, very beautiful. So these more heavier cards, if you will, has that eagle to remind you of that intention. What needs to be shed? This one's interesting. She's not blindfolded and trapped by the swords. It's like she's already either stepped out of that, or maybe she feels like she can't go home by those beliefs, those limiting beliefs. So it's a little bit different take. But I like how I'm getting different ways to read that. So love these cards. You can get that depressing feel that is the vibe of the swords. Comes through with the colors. This one came in a reading yesterday when I first cracked it open. And it reminds me of a person in my life. And he's got his sword, he's going to battle, but what's he battling? You know, fighting his own mind, creating some chaos. And then, yeah, the eagle's asking us to get a different perspective. Not look at this person just as the literal embodiment of this chaos that they're ensuing, but looking at them at a higher view, seeing that they're wounded, that they're hurt. Same thing with the queen. She's got heartache. She's been hurt, so she's abandoned the heart and embodies the realm of the mind. And then look at the earth. It's barren. It's cold, rigid, which is that what happens when we're in the mind, we're stuck in the mind. We can fail to see the beauty around us. So the eagle's asking to step out of that mind. But even though these have a more gloomy feel to them, I do love it. I do love the things that come to me looking at them. Love the jaguar, pentacle. It's fun. The two pentacles, the balance, and he's on that bridge. Fun. Yeah, the earth suit, a lot more green. Just really all that growth. Different vibe from the last suit. It's a very grounded feel as well. The page. Like how she's holding that pentacle. She could be a baby. So the Knight of Pentacles. This came up in a reading today, and I was doing the medicine wheel reading that's suggested in the book. And this was in the north. And the north is, what is the medicine available to me right now to help me move forward? And the reading was about this person was 1 foot in and 1 foot out of a situation. Basically trying to step into something new, and every time that they would kind of self-sabotage. And so the different directions of the wheel, the south is what needs to be healed, the west is what needs to be shed, and then the north is what needs to be embodied. And so the jaguar is the power animal of the west. Wherever the camera is, there we go, sorry. And I love how he's looking down at the jaguar. So it's saying, because we did a little healing ceremony with what needed to be released. And so we turned that wound of the past into a place of power. So that jaguar, we shed that thing that was old and dying that needed to go, and we turned it into part of what's going to help him actually move forward. So what was keeping him bound is now pushing him forward. So it was really cool session with these cards. And yeah, look at the difference from where we were with the swords. All that growth. Different vibe for sure. And coming to the end with the King of Pentacles. And if you see those jaguars in his throne, that they're not alive like they were for the King of Wands. They're solidified. So where this one's kind of, like I said, between the worlds, a little more dream time. This is definitely more grounded, solid. Very cool stuff. But I really, really loved this deck. Thought it was really cool. And I love some of their suggestions, like the 3-card read. And, you know, again, if you're familiar with tarot, you've done a 3-card read, past, present, future. But what's different, what we do differently when we're doing readings from a shamanic perspective is we're just not bound by fate of like what's going to happen, what's probably going to happen. Maybe that past, future, or past, present, future, the future doesn't look like a very outcome that we want to step into. And so we can draw a 4th card, replace the card in the middle to signify what is available to us to shift this energy, to bring healing, to step into destiny. And Alberto says destiny isn't in the future, but destiny can happen right now. We can step right into it. So very cool stuff, very healing. The 4-card medicine wheel draw, which is what I was talking about earlier. Daily card. The Ring of Fire. I use this for like a 15-minute reading. This one is awesome. It's only used in the major arcana. And you take a look at what is the energy that's working with you? What major arcana energy are we fated to, that we're stuck in, or that's dancing with us? And then we can see like how this card is manifesting in our life. You know, is it that hangman we're stuck and we're needing to shed something to move on? What is that? So this is a great technique where if you pull a card, you're going to go 10 cards over, and the card that's 10 cards over is going to be the medicine. What is the energy available for you to work with, to be able to work with that energy and to move forward? And it sounds very simple, only like a 2-card reading, but I've had some really cool results with that. Some very profound experiences that my clients have had. So recommend giving that one a go for sure. And I do really love this deck. This is probably going to be one of my main decks now, if not the main deck. It kind of covers all the things I needed to cover. All the shamanic influences, all of the mundane situational stuff we find ourselves in, right? When we're these mundane conflicts or we're overburdened, you know, it's important to include all of life, the mystical, the magical, and all the boring, mundane, and difficult struggles. It's all about that human journey. And so the tarot, the tarot encompasses all of that. They say it's like a universe in your hands. And yeah, look how thick this is. This is a big boy. So shuffling it can be a little daunting. You know, I've got good sized hands, so it's not too bad, but I find it just because it's so thick that it does give me trouble, and I think that's probably how I bent these cards. But they're absolutely beautiful. and just really fulfill this need that I had to encompass the shamanic medicine and the, the tarot. So, yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good stuff. So I'll leave you with this one as we come to a close and move on. Thank you for sticking around and walking through this deck with me. Maybe I'll post some of my other decks that I use, and maybe some videos on how I use them, because I'm probably doing it a little differently than other readers. I think we all have our own techniques that we do, but I'm happy to share that. Maybe post a couple of readings on here as well. And if you're in the Gold Coast area, I do healings and tarot readings in person. So you can book a session with me, or you can reach out online. I do virtual Zoom sessions as well. So I'm here for you. If you need, reach out, and have a lovely day or evening, wherever you are in the world.